Hey guys, welcome back to the Hobby Farm Homestead. Today is a really crappy day outside. It's about 50 degrees. It's really cold, windy, nasty. So I'm going to take advantage of that and get this hay baler ready to go, because hay season's pretty much here. A few farmers around here have already cut their fields. We're going to wait a little bit longer and let that Timothy head out so we can get a little bit more yield off our field. So I bought this hay baler. It's a 275 New Holland. I bought this one off an auction at the end, towards the end of last year. Just a few minor things need to be replaced on it, and I'll go over some of the stuff that we have to do. It's just bushings and some bearings, springs, stuff like that. Nothing major. So I'm going to take advantage of that and get this done. It's been on the list for a long time, and I'll take you guys along. So we're going to work on our 275 New Holland hay baler. First thing we got to do is get this thing drug out so I can see a little better. That's not good. These things move a little easier. Okay, I got the first one out. Yeah, that took me forever. So, I mean, you can tell, see it broke. But, just gotta hope to put these things back on right. So this will go on here, this assembly here, and then we'll go back on underneath the barrel. So I got about like 6 more of these to replace here and there, and then I'll go ahead and put the new barrels on. And I'll try to get as much footage as I can on this, but it's time consuming because these bolts are so old and it takes a little bit to get them off. So I'll go ahead and get this assembly put back together and put back on, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so that's it. It's got a little bit of play in it, which it should. So this one's all jacked up. I'll replace that one. I got quite a few I need to replace, but this one's next. And then I think I have one more that's not. It's not doing too good. I'll probably have to order a whole bunch more of those, but like I said, I only got 6 or so. But I'll replace some of the ones that need replaced. So I'll go ahead, get the other ones replaced, and then I'll get back with you guys. All right, next we're gonna take off this right here. There's a couple bushings I got in this. There's a rod that goes through here. All I gotta do is take that nut off, and this unit will slide out the end here. So let's get at that. Okay, these are the springs we replaced. That keeps these collectors sprung back down, so when it rakes over the hay, and then, you know, so like it runs on this guide right here, all right? So when they start here, they push that hay into there to where it's packeted in for flakes. But when it comes back, these things rake across the hay. So the springs keep it from, or keep them back down when it goes back that way, if you follow me. So these springs are very important, otherwise these things would stay up, and then when it's running that way, it's not pushing the hay, and then the hay will get bound up in there. And I think that's what happened with the barrels and stuff. These springs broke and just allowed the hay to get bound up in there, and it messed up some of the barrels and collectors, or the pickups. So as far as the bushings that I replaced, they're right in here. It still slides back and forth, which is okay, but it doesn't have any up and down movement. Now this one, it needs bushings. You can see it moving up and down. Maybe get you this way. You can see how it's moving up and down. I should have ordered 2 other bushings to put in there. That would take care of that. But this one is at the very end, so it won't be too difficult. Just pop it out right here and replace some bushings. I'll have them order some more for me. But yeah, so that's pretty much really what it is. You know, the balers are kind of complicated, especially when you get into the knotters and stuff. There's a lot of working parts on these balers, just thousands, to be honest with you. And they kind of gotta work in uniformity. Otherwise, you know, one thing gets out of time, and then it's just one big mess. So these are minor things. Like this is very little maintenance stuff. You know, you got to keep everything greased. There's small things that you have to keep up on a baler so it doesn't get out of time on you or just start misknotting or anything like that. So we're gonna go ahead and push this one back in the rail, and then that part of this baler will be done. I'll grease it all up, and then we can shut the lid here. Then we'll move over to the knotters. There's a couple springs I got to put in there, and that's pretty much it. Other than the barrels, I'm having them order me some more barrels and pickups, and then I'll finish that all up, and this baler will be ready to go. So let's go ahead and get this thing put back in the rails. My fingers. Because these things want to snap down now. Oh, let's see. A little bit more difficult with the springs on it because they are doing what they're supposed to do, but that's about it. Alright, let's get this put on. That's that. So that's all in there. Still moves back and forth. This one not so much. This one here, it just will. But all the tongs are down. It's doing what it's supposed to. So this back half is good to go. So let's move over to the knotters. All right, I'm gonna blow some of this dust and stuff off here. And there's a couple springs in the back. I'll show you the new ones that I gotta put on here. So let's get this cleaned off. Okay, that might be a little bright, but them springs right there, this one just broke. See how there's nothing to it? Nothing to this one. Okay, that's supposed to be one piece. They're supposed to look like this. See how it's got that hook on it? Keeps it down so it stays behind the flake. So the spring will go over top. So it'll set like this. It'll set like that, and the spring will go over top of this, and that way it keeps it down. And makes sure it's down up against the flake. That way the flake doesn't fall behind and get plunged again. So let's go ahead and get it in. Hopefully you guys understand this, but I'll show it a little better once I'm done. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in there, and I'll show you again. Alright guys, I don't know if you can see those springs. There's 3 of them that go across the back. Those are all good. The black spring that was over here, I don't think was supposed to be there. It just doesn't look right. But up in there, you can kind of see there's a brass bushing. It's kind of hard to point it out. You can kind of see it right there. It's right there. Now those have to spin because they come over and rub right here. If they don't spin, it wears these down. So this, those got to be lubed up, and all I do is just spray some WD-40 in there around that one too, and that's good enough. Now all we need to do is just get everything greased up, and I think we're all right. I still have to figure out how to mount this counter. It's supposed to go right here, and I'm not sure how it mounts. And I think this little nub right here is supposed to come over and kick it, but I got to see this running and see where it comes over so I know where to put this counter. It has a spring on it, I'm not sure, so it's either got to go this way or it's got to go I'm not sure. I got to work on it. Maybe like this so it kicks that down, but not sure. So that's something I got to work on. So we're gonna get this all greased up. These are the knotters, and there's a few other fittings I got to hit. And then as far as the barrel goes, I got to get that all done, but I got some more pieces coming in the mail. So for now, we'll grease that up and we'll be done with the baler for right now. So let's get it greased up. All right, guys, I think that's it. A few more things I got to hit. That's it for the baler, so I'll catch you guys on the next one.